And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Mustafa Hosseini, and today we have another amazing guest, an amazing topic, and an amazing, what you might call it, amazing offer and deal that's coming up. You guys do not want to miss this. Welcome, Dan Morris.
Dude, I like how you start with all the time zones. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. That's a smart way to start. It's good. I like it.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk about how to get 65 marketing products, trainings, tools, and resources for a price of, please hear this, less than an oil change. Okay.
Yeah.
So my friend Dan is going to tell us all about what he has going on called BCstack, which is an amazing giveaway that he has coming up or is running actually today as we speak. And you guys don't want to miss this interview. Anyway, so let me do the proper intro with Dan, and then we're going to get right into it. Dan R. Morris is the CEO of Audience Industries. He and his wife, Rachel Martin, run the giant motherhood blog, friendlyjoy.net, have done over digital marketing workshops around the world, and run a series of Stack events designed to connect you and your position you in your niche and help you grow and scale and become successful. Welcome, Dan.
Dude, it's good to be here, man.
It is good to have you.
This is a crazy week, so
oh my God, tell me about it.
I'm glad we're doing this. This is awesome.
So for those of you that are watching, what we're going to do here in a bit, but during the show is we're going to do some giveaways. Dan, do you agree to do a couple of giveaways here during the show for people that stay engaged with us?
Sure. Let's do it.
That I am going to do it, and this entire thing is about giveaways, and so we're going to throw a couple of giveaways in the giveaway and see where that goes, if that makes sense.
Hey, I'm down with it.
All right, so Dan, what is your story?
Well, at the heart of everything, I'm a military brat. My dad was military, so I moved around most of my life, which meant every couple of years I got a new set of friends, a new identity, and all that kind of stuff. And I think for the most part, finding new friends and meeting new people, that's been my entire life. And that's turned into BCstack. When go ahead.
No, I'm good. I just said amazing. That's awesome. Go ahead. Keep going.
So we did these workshops for about 3 years. We did workshops around the world. We did 8-hour workshops teaching the craft or the career of blogging, vlogging, and podcasting. And then when we were in New Zealand, I had mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk or somebody like that. And some of the people in the room didn't know who that was. And for me, I thought, wow, that's interesting that the internet is not the great equalizer. I thought, with the internet, everybody would know everybody. So we came back and we decided, what we should do? We should introduce our experts to the people that we met around the world, and we should introduce their experts to the people here. And so that's how we came up with this concept for this project that we call BCstack. And the whole idea of it is we find 65 experts, and every year, this is year 6. Every year we try to find 85 to 90% new people that I've never met before, as far from me as possible, so that we don't have overlapping audiences, so that I can truly introduce our audience to a new group of people, and then the contributors can get an entirely new audience as well. So that's what we've done. We've taken 65 products from 65 experts and put them together in one basket, which we call BCstack, and we market it to as many people as we can who are interested in new ideas.
Love it. Love it. And so how does BCstack work?
It's got 3 main components.
Okay.
The first component is the products. So we find the 65 experts and we convince them somehow every year to contribute a product into the stack, so that when a buyer buys it, they get 65 full awesome courses. That's leg 1. Leg 2 is in order to reach as many people as possible,
Mm-hmm.
we employ an army of affiliates around the world who then email this offer to their audience. So we can, I mean, the idea is to grow the audience, right? Reach as many people as possible. So this army sends out emails about the product, and the army actually makes 50% of the commission for the product. So they, I mean, this for some people, you know, like Jennifer Maker last year, who was one of our contributors, she actually made $20,000 marketing the product, which
Wow.
you know, for any regular Joe, you know, 3,000, 6,000, 20,000. I mean, that's, you know, that can pay off bills. That can take away all kinds of stresses. I mean, for them, BCstack is this great opportunity to be a revenue source in July. And then the third part of it is the contributors who contribute the products. They actually grow their list. They actually grow their audience. So the audience gets new products, the contributors get a new audience, and the affiliates, people who promote, get a revenue source. So it's kind of like, I mean, in my head, it's like the perfect product.
Absolutely. And yeah, I am contributing this year, and I'm really happy that I am. Amazing group of people. You have a Facebook group with like what 4,000 or 5,000 people in there that are interacting and talking and chatting, and
yeah,
pretty good community in there. And gang, if you have not got this, let me put the link here so
sure.
you can go and grab this. I mean, this is an opportunity, and you said it happens only once a year.
Yes, we do BCstack once a year, and the reason that's important, well, there's so many things that you can do every year. So, I mean, we could totally inundate our audience every year with, you know, different offers, but we just do it once a year. But when you buy it, here's the, I guess, a tidbit. When you buy it during this week, this is the only week where you get to pre-buy next year's for $27. And the reason we do that is because the very first year that we did it, it was $27 6 years ago. And I made a silly promise back then that I would never raise the price. So we have had to raise the price, but I've wanted to maintain that anybody that wants to can still get it for the 2014 price of 27. So we just make that's like the upsell on the backside. I mean, you can obviously avoid it, but I would say I think we're somewhere in like the 50s or 60% people who buy the next year, because for some reason we've been able to bring people like Mustafa to the table so that every single year you have confidence that the next year it's going to be awesome, because people like Mustafa end up in the stack, and you couldn't have found them otherwise.
You got it. And I appreciate actually being with the rest of the gang that are contributing. There's some really amazing products and tools and resources in there. There's 65 of them. And gang, Dan, what's the price of this? What's the buy-in?
It's $47 if you buy it this week. The pricing structure is this week. If you want to buy next year's, it's 27, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't get it this week, you can still pre-buy it next week, but it's going to cost you $35, which is basically saying, I really want you to buy it this week. That's the only reason that exists.
Oh yeah, and why not get the deal?
And then when we release the names of the contributors next year, then we raise the price to $39 that day. And that means that either you have a lot of faith in us and you're willing to get the cheapest price based on faith alone right now, or if it requires more knowledge for you to pull the trigger, it's also going to cost you a little bit more money. So once we release the names of the contributors who are in it, it's $39. And then next year, Stack Week, that's when we release the contributors' names and the products. Then you don't have to have any faith at all, but it's going to cost you $47 at that point.
You got it. Gang, like, we are contributing our course, Simple Marketing Formula, which is a live, intensive 6-day workshop. We spend 3 hours a day to figure out build our one-page marketing plan. This is a $2,000 workshop that we're contributing for free.
Dude,
it's not one of those things that, you know what, that people are like, Yeah, you know, here's a PDF that we sell it for $2,000 and you get it for free. No, it's actually a $2,000 workshop that work, and there are a lot of other workshops out there in the stack that you get access to with a mere $47. So $47 is a meal for two, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Hey,
you go
here's another thing. When you go to the website and look at the contributors, I would hope, part of us wants to see names like Tony Robbins, like these names that we just recognize. Like you instantly want that. But what we want you to see is the more people whose names you don't recognize, the better off that you're going to be. Because these are people whose ideas are not in your Facebook groups, right? You're already getting those ideas. Why do you need to pay for them? So the more people in there that you don't recognize, from my perspective, the better off you are, because now you're going to get ideas that you've never even considered, which is really going to make your business take off, because for some of you who are watching, you've probably already implemented some ideas that didn't work and you're wondering, why isn't it working for me? Well, BCstack is full of hundreds and thousands of ideas that you have never even heard before, which is the entire concept.
Absolutely. So once they buy this $47 access to BCstack,
Yeah.
how long do they have access to it? What are the details there?
So we give you 60 days until September 25th to actually go get the stuff. So think of that as as like in your town, some store is closing, right? And it's going to close on September 25th. So as long as you get the stuff before it closes, it's yours.
Yeah.
That's the concept. We don't, because people like Mustafa are giving us access to his $2,000 course, we can't leave that access hole open forever, because that's risk from Mustafa, right? Like he can't have that hole open forever. So we just want it open 60 days. That gives you enough time to just go grab things, register, download, join, whatever that is. And then obviously you're in, or you get to keep it, or if it's a book, it's on your computer, whatever that is, you get it in that period of time. But after that, most of the contributors close that hole. Every once in a while, somebody just leaves it open, but most of the time, I would say 90% after the 25th, it's you can't get it anymore.
Got it. So they buy today. It's not one of those things that, you know, they have to get it right now or never. It's just like they have 60 days to cash in on their.
Correct. And in the Facebook group, over the next couple of weeks, Rachel and I will do a series of webinars in the group where we go over different products. Like, here's what it is, here's who would need it, you know, here's what, if you're at this particular level, this is probably what you need. So you could even wait and kind of do it piecemeal, like, you know, learn about a few and then go get them, or you could do a couple a week. But yeah, you don't have to binge download it right now.
So for the people that are concerned about, oh my God, I can't take 65 courses right now or resources, that's too much for me. How do they deal with that? What's the best?
So our first webinar that we're going to do is going to pretty much take care of that particular problem. But I want you to think about, going to a local restaurant that has a salad bar, and it's whatever, $13.99 for the salad bar. And you've got your plate and you're walking down the thing. And how many of you, for your $13.99, take every single thing and put it on your plate, right? You don't do that. Like, for instance, there's always beets on the salad bar, but I will never, ever put beets on my salad. Like, never. I would have to be highly paid. So what I want you to do is I want you to go in and I want you to peruse and look and either attend our webinars, we're going to talk about them, and figure out, all right, I just paid $47. What is the very first product that I would take that if I learn this thing is going to make my investment back, my 47? So then you're even. Or what if it made 48? Now you just made $1 by buying the stack. And then the next idea is, all right, now what else are you going to need in the next 3 to 6 months? Like, totally hone in and grab those things. Make sure that your business is better off tomorrow than it is today because you learned X, Y, and Z. And when you make your money back by implementing X, Y, and Z, then you made a solid investment in the stack. Now, if you just go download 65 things and overwhelm yourself and never use any of them, well, it doesn't do anything. You are a business person at heart. So you've got to make a business decision. What is going to make you more than $47 if you just learn and implement?
You got it. And I think another, just to add on to that, I think one question you can ask yourself is, what's one thing I need to improve on in the next 90 days that will help me, make leaps and bounds in the next 12 months?
Definitely.
And then between 65 products, there's going to be a few products that are going to help you overcome that challenge, whether it's SEO, whether it's marketing with our course, whether it's, oh God, there's such a big pool of knowledge and training and tools in there that it would be hard to not find what
Now, for every single decision in my entire life as a dad and a business guy, I always ask myself, what am I going to regret more? That is my one question I ask myself. Am I going, in this particular case, am I going to regret parting with $47 now? Or am I going to regret buying this SEO course for $127 2 months from now? Or not having access to all of this? All these things that you couldn't get otherwise. And what stops most people is they do one of two things in our world. They take the fastest path to the end. So if they don't know e-commerce and e-commerce sounds hard, then they don't do e-commerce. They go blogging or vlogging or podcasting. And because it's simpler, they follow that path. And then they get to the end and they realize, man, if I would have just learned this a little bit, I could have been light years ahead. So that fastest path to the end is harmful because we're all afraid that certain things are difficult. And for me, an early example is I owned audienceindustries.com, but I used a Gmail account for a while instead of getting Dan at Audience Industries because I didn't exactly know how to get my own email from that domain, and I lived for like a year or so with just a Gmail account, which is a dumb thing. I mean, Gmail's fine, but it's dumb that I just let this tiny little thing that ended up only taking me 5 minutes stop me from having my own email address. So that, I think, that whole idea of it's a little bit hard stops us from doing a lot of things. And with the stack, you end up buying courses that you never would have purchased because that little part of your brain is like, that seems difficult, would have prevented you from pressing the buy button, but now you have it at your disposal. And it's right there. You can overcome that part by saying, you know what, I already own it. Let's just learn it.
You got it. Wow. Okay, I can't say, for those of you who are joining us later, we're talking about BCstack with Dan Morris, who runs BCstack. And through BCstack, you get access to 65 products, which are marketing tools and business tools and resources and trainings for you to help you grow and scale your business. I want to mention something, and I'm hoping that Dan wouldn't raise his prices next year because of what I'm going to say, but the Facebook group that they have has a few thousand business owners and entrepreneurs in it. The mere access to that group is worth way more than $47. I mean, if you just connect with a few people in a group, maybe do some joint venture deal with them, maybe do some sort of business deal and kind of help each other, I'm hoping that it's going to be worth at least 10 times, if not 100 times through that group. So what I'm trying to say is get in there, use the link in the comments, and get your access. You have 60 days to cash in on your products, including our course, Simple Marketing Formula, which we're, by the way, starting on Monday. Next date is going to be August 17th to 22nd. If you can't make it to this round, you always can make it to the next one. So just go ahead and get in and register. Now, what are people saying, Dan, about, what are your users saying about BCstack? What's the word on the street?
The biggest thing this year that's different than all previous years is people can't go to conferences. And because of that, you know, they allot some money for either conferences or seminars or workshops or even like BNA networking events. Like those kinds of things are not on the table this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they've decided that they're going to take that time and energy that they were going to spend at a conference and use it for BCstack instead. Because if you think about it, if you go to social media marketing world in San Diego, I mean, that's not only a weekend, but that's hotel and airfare, right? So in their mind, if that was an option this year, they would be going to that, which means they would be spending that kind of money. And BCstack is a much smaller investment. And unlike a summit where you have to be at your computer from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night of the week, Stack is largely bingeable. So you could just fly through a course. You could find the stuff that you don't know, cherry pick things that you just need to learn. You could go through 10 courses in a weekend. You could go through 30. I mean, it's all at your own convenience, especially helpful if you're like a 3 a.m. kind of person where that's where you do your best work. But there are no webinars and all that kind of stuff going on at 3 a.m. So this gives you an opportunity to really take advantage of that. And I think that might be a benefit of the bad COVID world that we live in. But, this particular time, you can totally learn everything you were going to learn, probably 10 times more, just with one purchase.
You got it. Gang, you know how sometimes there's like a deal on the table and it's so good that you're like, it kind of sounds too good to be true, and then later you don't take it and you regret it?
Yeah.
You're like, I should have taken that deal. This is one of those deals that you should take it, right? It's only, I hate to sell it on price, but getting access to 65 courses worth well over $8,000. I think $8,000 is a massive understatement for what's in there.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
the biggest critic comment that I get from marketers, from people who know advertising, is that the 40, it used to be 39. So is that the $39 price tag was too little. It made you think it wasn't worth what it was. And they always told me I need to make Stack like $197 or $297.
mm-hmm.
And that by doing that, the price itself would be an illustration of the value inside, whereas the 39 or now the 47 is not that. It's like a BMW for 10,000 instead of 40,000. But for me, there's a lot of people out there where $50 is the money. That's something you have to think about. And for those people, $197 might be out of their reach. They might not be able to get all of these ideas. They might not be able to meet all of these new entrepreneurs and experts. So my head, and I have resisted every year, is just to keep it here because it's not quite 50. I mean, it really is an oil change. And I know that the price doesn't totally match the value, but I'm afraid that if we lower the price, even though we might, or if we raise the price, even though we might actually make more money, I think we would drastically reduce the number of people that would buy it. And the whole idea is you're supposed to meet new experts and they're supposed to meet a new audience. So that's what we want to do.
You got it. All right. So gang, for those of you who are watching or joining us later, we are going to do giveaways once we're done here. For you to qualify for giveaways, you got to be either liking the show or commenting or asking a question and or tag a friend who could benefit from 65 business resources for $47. So if you have any friends, if any of that happens, you enter your name into the draw. And Dan, what do you figure you would like to give away?
Well, I hadn't really thought through this prior to this call. What do you usually do in these situations?
I give away a coaching call. I give away access to my course, which I'm doing it through BCstack anyway. I do a number.
Why don't we give away 2 BC stacks?
All right. So for those of you who would be commenting, liking, asking questions, or tagging your friends on the show here, you would enter your name into the draw to get access to BCstack for free. Basically, you get 65 business products and tools and trainings and resources for free. So, Dan, any parting words? Anything we want to talk about or touch on before we get going?
Let's talk about this concept of the giveaway that you brought up.
Okay.
You've heard the word authentic. People say that all the time. Be authentic. Mm-hmm. And I think most people think that means like be yourself, or be who you are, or you don't lie, or like be real, something like that. But in our head, being authentic doesn't mean that at all. So I want you to think about your business, and I want you to think about the concept of a giveaway like we're doing here. All right. Now, let's just say that you're in the running niche. Okay. You teach running, you teach marathons or whatever, and you decide to do giveaway to grow your audience. And you decide to give away a $25 Amazon gift card. The moment that you decide that is the moment that you have become inauthentic to your audience, because a $25 Amazon gift card invites everyone to register, which means when you have a Facebook group, it's no longer filled with just runners or just running enthusiasts. It's now filled with people who like to get free Amazon gift cards. So make sure that in your business, when you line up all of the stuff, that your giveaway attracts the exact audience that you need in order to sell your largest product, your consulting or your $2,000 course like Mustafa has. Make sure that like giving away BCstack works, right? Because it's the product that we sell. So it brings only people who would be interested in BCstack to sign up, like the video, share, those kinds of things so they can be entered. So make sure that when you're building your business, that every single part lines up, because an Amazon gift card giveaway does not line up. I mean, I will register for that at a menopause site, but I am obviously not interested in menopause, right? But that means that I would be on their list. If I have to join their Facebook group, I would be in there. And that's just not an authentic relationship with your audience. That's not helping them by filling them in a room. Like if you go to a U2 concert and nobody there knows the words, like who's singing along with you? That's not what you want. You want to go where everyone knows the words and you can sing as loud as you want, because everyone else is singing as loud as they can, because they all know the words, and that's the environment that makes a concert awesome. So think about that in your world. Make sure that everything you do, including the giveaway, is very authentic to the reason you exist in their lives.
Love it. Love it. So, Dan, when is BCstack over this year? How much time people have?
We have until tomorrow night at midnight, Central Time, United States.
Midnight, Center Time, United States. That would be 11 or 10 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
2 a.m. Eastern Time, or 1 a.m. Eastern.
1 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So, gang, we got until tomorrow night. If you want to think it over, there's really not much thinking in $47 for 65 business products. That's just. I mean, how wrong could you be, or could you get with $47 on 65 business products, right? People spend money and waste their money way more than that on things that don't even matter. And a lot of those business owners are usually, not all of them, some of them are crying about not having enough business. Yeah. And when you offer something like this, they're like, oh, let me think about it. It's like, stop thinking, just get it. and then we'll take it from there. So, Dan, my last question always is, if you had a Facebook ad that everyone on the planet could or would see it, what would that ad say for you?
A Facebook ad?
Yeah, that everyone on the planet would see.
That's interesting. That is an interesting question. If there was a Facebook ad, I think it would say, want to meet someone new. That's what we would say.
That's awesome. As you're all about, I guess, connection and meeting new people and expanding your network.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the best.
Beauty. By the way, Ronald here says next time you come to Omaha, Dan buys me dinner. Sounds like
that would be Ron Bosworth, I assume.
Yes, it is.
He's a good man.
There he is, Ronald Bosworth.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's in Omaha.
Yeah. Anyway, so gang, again, jump on this deal, get it. It's going to be done and over tomorrow night. If you have any questions or comments, or if you know someone or business owner that could benefit from this amazing deal, tag them on the comments here, and you enter your name and their name for a draw for the 2 tickets that Dan just gave away for BCstack, and then we'll take it from there. Dan, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for joining us. I hope that this year BCstack is or has been and will be the best that you've done yet.
Me too.
And looking forward to chatting soon.
All right, dude. Appreciate you having me on, man. It was great.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye now.